Let's head on down to Florida during a Category 5 hurricane. Let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well out there. And today we're going to talk about a little creature feature down in Florida. But before we get into it, like, comment, and subscribe. Join me here. I greatly would appreciate that. Also, I'm on Discord. It's free. If you don't have an account, set one up. Look for my name, Brian Rummel. There's a lot of great folks over there. We talk all kinds of films, mostly horror, but all kinds of other films as well, action, comedy, and whatnot. So yeah, stop on by my Discord, check it out, and join, and we can chat movies all day, every day. Also, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, all day, me and Dale_A from the Bat and Spider podcast are going to be at Carolina Fear Fest. If you happen to see us, stop us, say hi. We can chat about movies or whatever you want. It'd be cool to hang out with some like-minded folks. Also, I'll be seeing Top Gun Maverick on Thursday night, so I'll have a review for that this weekend at some point. I'm going with my wife and Dale_A and his wife as well. Can't wait for that. I'm excited about that movie because I love the original Top Gun, and yeah, that's a lot of fun stuff coming up. But today we're talking about Crawl. This film came out July 12th of 2019. I actually saw this in theaters when it came out that year. It's rated R. It's an hour and 27 minutes long. Had a budget of $13.5 million, and upon release, it made $39 in America and $91 worldwide. So it was a nice little hit for Paramount. And this was directed by Alexander Aja, this director who directed High Tension, Piranha 3D, Mirrors, The Hills Have Eyes remake, etc., etc. I'm a big fan of his, so I was excited to see what he would do with a creature feature or a nature run amok kind of film. And Sam Raimi produced this film as well. And there's a little documentary on the Blu-ray disc, and Sam even says how he tried to get Alexandra to work on the Messengers movies they did way back when, but he was busy with the Hills Have Eyes remake, and he was happy to finally get to work with him on this film. Now, in this film, the cast is very small. We're only really concentrated around 2 actors. There are other characters in the film, but the ones that we're really spending most of the runtime with are Haley, played by Kayla Scodelario. I think I said that right. And Barry Pepper, who's been around forever. He plays her father, Dave, and Barry Pepper was in Saving Private Ryan, True Grit, The Green Mile, many, many films over the years. And he's really good here as well. And actually, him and his daughter, Haley's character, or the actress that plays her, were in the Maze Runner films together. So they were familiar with each other. And it's a very simple setup. Haley is a swimmer at the University, I think the University of Florida, or one of the universities in Florida, and there's a Category 5 hurricane barreling down on Florida. She tries to call her dad. He's not picking up, so she drives from college and goes down to try to find her dad. He's not at his new house, but she decides to go and check the old house. There's already a police blockade, but she kind of plows around it because she knows the local cops, and she goes to the old house, finds her dog, well, her father's dog, and eventually she leads her down to the crawl space underneath the house, and she finds her dad unconscious with a major wound on his shoulder. And pretty soon she realizes they are trapped down there with alligators and have to find her way out as the crawl space starts to flood. And that is pretty much Crawl. This is a creature feature, man. It's a good old-fashioned creature feature in the vein of Lake Placid, which I really like that film, Piranha, Joe Dante's original Piranha, or Alexander Aja's remake of Piranha, Grizzly, Deep Blue Sea, Jaws. We've seen many of these films over the years, and I like a good one, and I consider this a pretty damn good one, a fun, suspenseful, good time that's well constructed. Is this movie perfect? No, but I think the performance is really, really good. They're really strong, and basically, like I said, the 2 actors, Haley's character and Dave's character, are the 2 main characters we see on screen. Yes, we see a few police officers, we see some looters, but other than that, this is a story about father and daughter trying to get through this situation and try to survive this situation they couldn't possibly have found themselves in. I mean, yes, the hurricane's barreling down, but the alligators are the X factor. And the alligators are very aggressive because their nest is close by. And they're out for blood. And there is some carnage candy in this film as well, as you would expect from an Alexander Aja film, because most of his films are pretty goddamn gory, especially High Tension and the Hills Have Eyes remake. And when the alligators attack, it's gruesome. They don't hold back on that as well. And I like the survival story here. It's about these 2 people who have a little bit of a strained relationship, but it's not super bad. They had lost the wife and mother, and her father was hard on her, coaching her through swimming. But overall, it's just a story about father and daughter trying to survive and get out of this situation. And it's well executed by Aja. He does a really nice job building up the tension, There are jump scares here. The effects mostly overall are handled pretty well. I mean, the alligators are mostly CGI, or all CGI for the most part. And all the hurricane stuff CGI. The water's not. All this, a little bit of trivia I'm going to get into right now. The whole set, the gas station, the houses, this little cul-de-sac area, this little neighborhood was all built in a water tank in Serbia, Belgrade, Serbia. That's where they did this. It was a huge water tank down by the docks that they built this set in. And they had tanks where they'd flood the water, like make the water look like it's, flooding the house. They did all that stuff for real, but the storm itself and a lot of the wind and that was all CGI. The alligators are CGI. And for the most part, it works pretty well. There are moments where the CGI, you could tell that it's CGI. But they do a good job trying to hide it and blend it into the situation. And for the most part, it works pretty well. But there are moments where it sticks out like a sore thumb, especially on high def. You could tell. Even in the theaters when I saw this that year, you could tell little moments where the CGI doesn't hold up as well. But it's still a well-constructed movie with true suspense. Yes, there are moments of over-the-topness where they're stretching believability. But for the most part, they keep it pretty grounded. And Barry Pepper and Kayla Scodelario, I hope I said that right, I'm butchering her name, sorry, do a really nice job together. They play off each other well. The action's well handled here. And with her being a swimmer, we see her swim meet right in the beginning. It definitely comes into play later on in the film where she has to outswim these alligators to get to a boat or to get to the rooftop where her father is to try to flag down a rescue helicopter, because by this point, the water's almost up to the rooftop because all this water's just come rushing in from the storm surge. And, it does have a happy ending. I mean, her father loses an arm to an alligator and he's been damaged. She's got bit a few times, but they do make it out at the end of the film. So we do got a happy ending and they definitely were put through the ringer. Overall, I really enjoyed this film. It's a well-constructed nature run amok film that I enjoyed when I saw it in the theaters. I enjoyed it again when I watched it last night. And it's a cool little, creature feature. And I like these kind of films. There's one coming out in the summer called Beast that I saw about a big lion in Africa. And I always like movies like that. I like The Ghost in the Darkness and that. So if you like those kind of films, this is a perfectly good one. It's a good time at the movies. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's suspenseful. And it's well handled here. Again, besides some of the CGI that doesn't quite hold up, it's still well constructed. And it's a fun movie. It's a fun summer creature feature that's rated R. It doesn't hold back on the carnage candy when the alligators do attack. And I've always enjoyed this film enough to give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. It's a well-constructed thrill ride. 7.5 out of 10 for Crawl. If you've ever seen this film, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share this really great. Would appreciate that. I'm off to Carolina Fear Fest this weekend, but you will see a review for Top Gun Maverick this weekend. Can't wait to see this film. Been looking forward to it for 2 years since it's been delayed. But until then, bye.